Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Vela Fetiana with student number 210705010. Today I will try to explain about the International Phonetic Alphabet and Phonology Generative. First, I will explain about the International Phonetic Alphabet. A definition. The International Phonetic Alphabet is an alphabetic system of phonetic notation based primarily on the Latin script. It was devised by the International Phonetic Association in the late 19th century as a standardized representation of speech sounds in written form. The International Alphabet is used by lexicographers, foreign language students and teachers, linguistics, speech-language pathologists, singers, actors, constructed language creators, and translators.
B. History. International Phonetic Alphabet, an alphabet developed in the 19th century to accurately represent the pronunciation of language. One aim of the International Phonetic Alphabet was to provide a unique symbol for each distinctive sound in a language, that is, every sound or phoneme that serves to distinguish one from another. The concept of the International Alphabet was first broached by Otto Jefferson in a letter to Paul Passy of the International Phonetic Association and was developed by A. G. Ellis, Henry Sweet, Daniel Jones, and Passy in the late 19th century. Its creator's intent was to standardize the representation of spoken language thereby sidestepping the confusion caused by inconsistent conventional spellings used in every language. The International Alphabet was also intended to supersede the existing multitude of individual transcription systems. It was first published in 1888 and was revised several times in the 20th and 21st centuries. The International Phonetic Association is responsible for the alphabet and publishes a chart summarizing it. Since its creation, the International Alphabet has undergone a number of revisions. After revision and expansions from the 1890 to the 1940, the International Alphabet remained primarily unchanged until the Kiel Convention in 1989. A minor revision took place in 1993 with the addition of 4 letters for mid-central vowels and the removal of letters for voiceless implosive. The alphabet was last revised in May 2005 with the addition of a letter for a labiodental flap. Apart from the addition and removal of symbols, changes to the International Alphabet have consisted largely of renaming symbols and categories and in modifying typeface. Extensions to the International Phonetic Alphabet for speech phonology were created in 1990 and were officially adopted by the International Clinical Phonetics and Linguistic Association in 1994.
The three tables above are the genealogy of the International Phonetic that we know today. However, until this year, there have been many revisions in the determination of the internationality phonetic type. The alphabet has undergone a number of revisions during its history, the most significant of which was proposed at the Kiel Convention in 1989. Changes to the alphabet were proposed and discussed in the origin of the association. The Journal of the International Phonetic Association, formerly known as a Le Maitre Phonetique and previously as a teacher of phonetics, and later elected by the association board. An extension to the International Phonetic Alphabet for Speech Disorders was created in 1990 with the first major revision approved in 2016. In 2016, there are versions of a revised chart dated 2015 were released online, each with the characters rendered in a different typos. International Phonetic Alphabet Kyle or IL uni developed by linguistic software Doulas SIL and Deja Vu Sans 107 and 108. No character was added or withdrawn, but some notes and the shapes of few were slightly modified. In particular, E was replaced by E with continuous slated stroke, and the example of a rising falling tone contour was changed from R 454 to R 343. In 2018, another slightly modified chart in different fonts was released in this time, also in text TEPI Roman developed by Ray Fukui, which was selected as best representing the international phonetic symbol set by the Association Alphabet Charts and Fonts Committee established the previous years 109 until 111. The example of a rising falling tone contour was again changed from, let me say R343 to R34. In 2020, another set of charts was released with the only changes being minor adjustment, the layout and Creative Commons icons replacing the copyright site. Next, I will explain about phonology generative. A. Definition. Phonology is a branch of linguistics that studies the sounds of language, the process of their formation and changes. Phonology studies language sounds in general, and functional generative phonology is a phonological development initiated by Chomsky and Haley in 1968. Generative phonology generally discusses the phonological process of a language. Therefore, in the study of generative phonology, the rules of sound change are found. In 1957, Noam Chomsky put forward a new idea in linguistics, namely the generative theory. In theory, this generative theory studied language at the grammatical level. In this development, this theory can be applied at the phonological level, which is then called generative phonology. This generative phonology first appeared in America, and Maurice Haley was the first to apply generative principles in the field of phonology. Generative theory, which is discussed in generative phonology, includes, among others, the system of rules related to sound and meaning, the phonetic representation of a language, the process of sound change, and assumptions based on sound changes. From the explanation above, it can be concluded that field of phonology, the phonological process or sound change of a language, is the concept of generative phonology. Generative phonology describes the process by which sound changes occur. Next, the rules of generative phonology. The rules of sounds change in generative phonology, among others, the rule of changing characteristics, the rule of deletions of segments, the rules of adding or insert segments, the rules of uniting segments, and the rules of metathesis. These rules are assumed to apply universally to all languages. In general, these rules have the following formula. Number one, additions of a segment is the addition or insertion of segment in a word. This rule can be formulated as follows: E or B. 2. Deletion of segments. Deletion of segments is the omissions of segments in words. This rule can be formulated as follows: A, B, and C. 3. Unification of segments is a phonological process when two sounds combine into a single sound that has the properties of two original sounds each. Often, the resulting sound has the articulation of one source sound and the articulation even of another. In this rule, consonants and vowels groups are pronounced as one sound. Coalitions formula example X, Y, and Z. Last, assimilations is the process of changing one phoneme in another phoneme as the result of putting more phonemes together. Addition of segments. The phonological process of adding segments can be found in the Javanese dialect of Kudus. Example, nomina, sanju. The meaning is uang saku. Kata ganti kepemilikan orang kedua tunggal, sanjunem. The meaning is uang sakumu. Its appearance is influenced by the vowel sounds that precedes it. Sanju plus em, the result is sanjunem. Segment delivery. In Arabic, the phonological process of segmentation is found as in the example below. Verb mas orang ketiga tunggal, verb from orang ketiga tunggal. Example, fihim. The meaning is dia laki-laki mengerti. And fihmat, dia perempuan mengerti. The suffix "at" is the underlying form of the feminine singular third person morpheme. It can be proven that the additions of the suffix "at" can be accepted on all exciting data.